Hey kids, welcome back to Big Board. Been a couple of days, maybe even a week since I've done a video, and I thought I'd try and give you an update. It's been a hectic week and also a distracted week, so not a lot of content creation, not a lot of die rolling. Anyway, here we are with hurtgen Hell, or hurtgen Hell's Forest is actually what it's called. Decision games. It's the GOS system. You can work out what that acronym stands for. I keep getting it wrong. People yell at me. So here it is, Grand Operational Simulation Series. I'm using the rules out of the box, which clock in at something like, I don't know, I think including scenarios. No, it's not including scenarios. I don't know, 48 pages, well within the bounds of reality to manage. I have had some challenges here and there with the rules. That's just me. Part of it has been that I'm using the updated little cheat sheets and things that buddies of mine have put together. You can get them on Board Game Geek. That's the only reason you would go to Board Game Geek, is to get files, I guess. But nevertheless, the discrepancies with how things run from the most very current rules versus what's in the box. I prefer what's in the box mainly because it's 40 plus less pages of rules. So less kitchen sink, more game. What's going on? It's interesting. We've got a situation where every turn, I think for the first 3 days, so that'll be 9 turns, anytime any allied unit moves more than half, they have to roll for fatigue. Fatigue is going to just ruin your day when it comes to trying to execute combats and good fun stuff like that. So we've had to pace ourselves very carefully. In fact, I did a full bore move first turn, the AM turn, execute on that, got a lot of fatigue results, and in some cases 2 fatigues. And so then we spent the PM and night turns getting rid of all those and shuffling the rest of the guys up a little ways. 9th Division, 3rd Armored, 1st Division. I got 30th over here on the left flank over near Maastricht. And these guys are approaching Aachen here. And we've got this west wall set of defenses here. Well, I'll show you in a sec if I remember to. As I've been playing, I've only managed to get a couple of attacks done, and it's all sort of starting to come back to me from playing previously with Lucky Forward. I messed around for 2 or 3 turns in a subset of a scenario. I just activated a couple, maybe just 2 divisions, I think, or 1 division. I'm not really sure how many divisions I worked with. I played a few turns. It's starting to come back to me. There are lots of nuances in the rules, and there are lots of nuances that make you think about how to go about bringing the best elements together for a combat. And so very much like, this is not trying to make a comparison here at all, but very similar to how The Last Gamble presents you a system with a set of rules that create, not an endless amount of opportunities or options or choices, but a significant number that give you pause for thought, so that you think about, how am I going to get from A to B? What am I going to bring to an attack? What's going to be most effective given the terrain and all that sort of fun stuff? So that for me is really, really interesting. Not super excited about the constricting terrain. There's the hurtgen Forest is here. And I actually was going to have ninth push through the west wall here, and I may still have to send part of it that way, but there's a big chunk of me that wants to send the 9th down this road here and take on what's left of the 89th, and I think 353rd is supposed to get some reinforcements, but I'm having trouble locating where they come in and when they come in. I need to dig around somewhere and ask some people about that. So niggles for me, the stacking rules are freaking annoying. I've basically given up on them and said, I move and stack everybody as if everything is constricted terrain, so that I don't accidentally move somebody and then have them in the hex that's where they're not supposed to be. So everyone, it's basically 1 battalion and 1 other unit, and I'm trying to keep everything at two units two unit levels in terms of stacks. Because it's just a pain in the ass to keep track of. And while you can move more units in the open on the road and all that sort of fun stuff, it's a little bit fiddly to my mind. And the other thing is, of course, the fuel and ammo points. It took me a while to work out how that was all going to come together and how it would work. I think I understand it now. I think I understand it now, and we are using the supply rules. We are being somewhat flexible with them. We're not getting spun up around the axle, because I did that for about a day while I tried to noodle my way through, once again, looking at the current version charts versus the old version charts, and looking at some rules summaries and things like that, trying to cheat my way through the system fast forward. What I am finding is there are a lot of little sub-rules that are not necessarily broken out by case, even though it's a heavily case-based system. So let me just grab the rules here and I'll show you this. So as you can see, it's all case-based, right? But sometimes within a given rule, for instance, there was a DRM for combat, and it said, you get 10 DRM points for every X unit in the regiment or whatever it is, and then it says, and kind of, by the way, you get 15 if it's this. So I would have had that as a case, right? So that it draws my attention to it. Whatever that thing was that said it was 15, I would have had that as a separate case, so that dumb little Kevin can actually catch that rule and not skim read the paragraph to work out what's going on. And engineers, critically important. Lots of construction going on. Lots of building bridges and building. When you stop, basically, you're well advised to put yourself into improved positions to basically dig in. Right, That is not something as you can see, I have not done that with the Americans yet. I'm trying to keep the map relatively clean, and if they're going to be, they've got to be static for a fair amount of time. I think it's let me check here. I think it's 3 turns to build. Where is it? I can't see it right offhand. I've got it here somewhere. I don't want to waste time in the video trying to find it, but it's a couple of turns for a battalion to dig themselves in. So that probably sounds right. Like 6 hours is half a turn. And then I guess, another, so maybe 12 hours, maybe it's 2 turns. I don't know for a battalion, maybe, who knows? Doesn't matter. I haven't really done it. Haven't really seen the point yet. We're going to get to that. All these guys here, the Germans are in the West Wall, so they're not building anything anyway. So there you go. The turn track is very busy. There's a lot of information on the turn track, and you've got to really have a hard look and study it and make sure that you're not missing anything that's required. But I find the play aids and everything else to be quite pleasant and useful. There's some color play aids in here so we can see what's going on, and examples of these Z step units and companies and battalions, and all the different data that's on the units is all pretty well laid out. And so overall, a couple of turns in, like I'm on day 2 now. We're digging it. I just haven't had a lot of time to get the reps, get those reps going on it so that it becomes more second nature. I could probably see that a ground assault, prepared assault, can be done reasonably quickly, particularly if we if we are attacking the West Wall. We're not, according to suggested tactics by friends, that we don't waste any time with artillery, and we just get in there and start punching at things and see what happens. So I think I've got mechanized, like up here, I've got mechanized infantry trying to jump into that West Wall hex. Probably a mistake. And you need to have engineers in each hex to get the engineering benefit, which I found out late, and so I had to kind of redo a move to make it worthwhile even running the attack, and it ended up being a big fizzle. When you roll a 3, not a whole lot happens. So anyway, That's it. I'm going to rotate over to Aegean Strike right now and do a quick little update video on that. And we'll kind of go from there. Hope you guys have a Merry Christmas. Take care.